This video was sponsored by Toys. The 4-beat weave is the foundational trick for all other interlocking partner poi. Drex here from DrexFactor.com, helping you bring the joy of flow to your world, and I'm here with my friend Tashi to show you how to do the 4-beat partner weave. Before we dive in, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to the friends of the channel. Big thanks to Dark Monk, Toys, Pyroterra Light Toys, LMF Props, Spinballs, and Ultra Poi for helping to make the videos on this channel possible. You can learn more about all of these amazing companies and the work that they're doing to support flowers like yourself by checking out the links down in the description of this video.
This is the first partner trick that most people learn. You and your partner are going to weave together with just one hand.
Because it's important, we're going to do a quick review of communication. We'll be counting down our entry every time by saying here, next, now, so we're both clear on our timing. Sound good, Tashi?
Sounds great.
We call this trick a 4-beat because each individual partner will perform 4 downbeats in the course of this trick. It also has a pretty gentle learning curve. I've been able to teach it to complete strangers in less than 10 minutes.
The first thing both you and your partner will need to do is get used to the arm movement in this trick. Practice without poi to start.
Have each partner perform a 3-beat weave with their hand going forwards and reverse to get a rough idea of how this will feel. You're going to want to spin your arm twice when it is across your body and once when it's on its native side. You'll also want to orient your body so that your hand is going back and forth in front of and behind you in wall plane, rather than side to side in wheel plane.
When that feels comfortable, walk through it with your partner.
First, let's pick whose arm is going forward and whose arm is going reverse. Being as how I'm taller, I'm going to go forward for reasons that we'll get into later. To perform this weave, each of us will have to catch and push the other's arm between our bodies, a motion that I usually like to call hooking or pushing.
Both Drex and I are right-handed, so we will want to learn this trick with our right hand first. We will start facing each other, and then I will take a step to my left.
Now, if you or your partner, or both, are left-handed, you could just as easily take that step to the right instead.
I'll start with my hand pointed out straight in front of me.
And I'm going to swing my arm around over hers, sweeping both of our arms between our bodies until they're in front of me and behind Tashi. It's now my job to hang out here until she comes around to catch me.
I'll swing my arm around like I'm doing a backstroke and catch Drex's arm up from underneath, and then I'll push both arms over in front of us and leave my arm waiting for Drex's arm.
Cool. And I'm going to swing my arm down and around like I'm doing the crawl stroke, up and over to catch hers from above. Basically, this is your cycle. Lather, rinse, repeat. I wait for her to push me from under. She waits for me to push her from over. I wait for her to push me from under. She waits for me to push her from over.
Now, let's try this with poi.
The one last piece of the puzzle is to perform one extra beat when your arm is on its native side and you're waiting for your partner to catch you. This means you'll get in 2 beats with the poi on each side. Now, let's try that together.
I'll start by sticking my arm straight out with the poi.
And I'm going to sweep my arm in poi over top of her arm and push both of our arms to the other side of our bodies. I'll spin a beat with my poi while Tashi reaches around.
I'll reach around like I'm doing the backstroke and swing it under Drex's arm. Then I'll push both of our arms over to the other side.
I'll drop my hand in poi down and around behind me like I'm doing the crawl stroke and reach them both up and over top of Tashi's hand while she hangs out and adds an extra beat with her poi. So each partner has the same rhythm for this. Push your partner's hand through, hang out for a beat. Let your partner push your hand through, swing back around.
Your poi might get tangled as you do this trick, or they might not match up very well. This happens a lot when someone speeds up or slows down too much. Count the beats as you move, and it can help fix this.
As you and your partner get more comfortable doing this move, you should be able to work in tandem together, and neither of you should have to push very hard.
This should feel more like a dance rather than an arm wrestle. Once you get it down, neither person should feel like they are leading.
So now I want to introduce you to a variation of this move that switches up the game plan just a bit. Currently, we switch off who is doing the pushing on each side, but you can actually make it so that the same person is always pushing.
If the person doing the forward weave is always pushing, they will always push the move below the wrist. But if you have the person doing the reverse weave always pushing, they will always push above the wrist.
I'm a much bigger fan of having the person doing the forward weave always pushing, and this has kind of become the norm among the people that I do partner poi with. We call it the downstream rule.
Sometimes the poi can look like river rapids as they spin. The rapids go in a downstream direction, and so do the poi.
In addition to making it easy to know what your weaves are going to look like with any partner, this rule also keeps the move at a manageable height if there happens to be a big height difference between you and your partner. Tashi and I are going to be using the downstream rule throughout this series, and we highly recommend that you do the same. It's going to save a lot of confusion later on.
Make sure that each partner practices being downstream and upstream with each hand. It's always better to have more options.
It takes a little bit more work at the wrist, but you can also do these weaves with both of you facing in the same direction.
This will also help down the road, so make sure to practice facing each way. Here's a 4-beat from a few different angles so that you can get a better view of it.
And now, let's take those 4 beats and try and string them together.
If you learn this with both hands, you can switch which hand is doing the weave.
Wait for the moment right before you push your partner's hand or they're about to push yours and simply swap out which hand is in place. Pretty cool, right? Valentine's Day is this Friday, and there's still just barely enough time to get sets of poi for you and your someone special. Head on over to flowtoys.com and use the code PARTNERFLOW to get 11% off 2 sets of pod poi to get you started on your partner poi journey. Thanks so much to Flow Toys for sponsoring this series. Because, you know, 11, it's like 2 people. Yeah, you get it?
It's cute, yeah.
We want to see you doing partner poi. Post yourself doing this trick on Instagram with the hashtag DrexFactorPoi so we can check out your work.
Next week, we'll cover partner 3-beat weaves. To make sure that you see it when it drops, please make sure you hit subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of the videos in this series. Before I set you all loose, I also just want to put out a massive thank you to all of my wonderful supporters on Patreon. They are the reason that this video and all the videos on this channel exist. If you would like to support the work that I do, please head on over to patreon.com/DrexFactorPoi and sign up. You'll get early access to all of my content, including future videos in this series, as well as a vote in what topics I tackle in the future. Thank you in advance.